Are we doomed to be like our parents? So we got a really interesting video today. This is one of my favorite analogies. I got a rubber band. I want you to imagine that on this side is your parents. So my left hand is your parents, and this side, my right hand, is you. Now, there's some tension. Oftentimes there's tension between the two. So if your parents are here and you feel like they're holding you down and you're on this side trying to grow. No, mom, I want to start that business. I want to do this project. I want to grow. Then back. So it might feel like you're constantly fighting between what you want to do and where you want to go versus your parents like holding you back, right? And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to keep pushing. If you don't give up, keep pushing, and it snaps and you go flying. I just quickly want to say thank you so much to you who's watching this video. I really appreciate the support I've been getting. Joseph, I think you're watching this. Let's try to get to 50 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I consistently upload videos on how you can improve your relationships and create meaningful connections that will change your life. So, are we really doomed to be like our parents? And truthfully, the answer is yes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? So keep listening. A lot of this stuff that we learn as a young age, we mirror from our parents. You might oftentimes like catch yourself being like, this is something my dad would do, or the way you eat maybe, or the way you laugh, or when you get angry, or some of your pet peeves. A lot of this stuff, guys, comes from our parents because those are the people we usually spend the most time with. Now, I remember thinking a lot of that stuff was bad. I remember even in my teenage years, up until my early 20s, I was really resentful of my parents. I felt like they had neglected me and I would never be like them. I would never be like my dad. I want to do these great things like build a YouTube channel. And at that time, I didn't even have this plaque. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why do my parents like to hold me back? Like, what's their problem? I would never do that. When I grow up, I'm never going to do that. I'm going to be the best parent. And I think it's normal. You might be having those thoughts depending on, what age you are. You might be having those thoughts, and that's normal. One thing I learned is that, especially as men, we like to idolize our dad, then demonize, and then humanize. So those are the 3 stages that you're going to go through. In the beginning, you think your parents are superheroes, and then you start to demonize them. You think, they just want to hold me back. They're not letting me go out with my friends. They're not letting me choose this job I want to choose, and demonize. And then you start to humanize. You start to realize as you get older that they're just like you and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. And so that 3rd stage does take time. So like I said, it is true that we're most likely going to be like our parents. And the reason for that is because it's very natural. It's easy to just learn from them, and you don't really have to think. You can just watch your parents, and through their actions, it starts kind of like osmosis, you start replicating what they're doing. And then those form into habits, the way they speak or the way they handle conflict. And the path of least resistance is usually the path you end up taking, because now you don't have to question why your parents do that. You just copy. Right? That's the easiest thing to do, right? Just copy. And that's why most people do end up being like their parents. Now, the only way you can change that cycle and not be like your parents is becoming aware of your parents' behaviors, recognizing what they're doing, and if that's what you want to continue to do. I recommend journaling. When you write down what it is you see in your parents that you don't want to do, it becomes a lot easier to not take those actions, right? It's like breaking an addiction. Now, during this journey to what I would call adulthood and trying to do better than your parents, it's really important to understand that the best way you can do better than your parents is by accepting who they are. If you're constantly blaming your parents and hating your parents and trying to prove them wrong, you're taking time and energy away from fully developing into the person you're supposed to become. You gotta realize that your parents are just a reflection of the outer world. There will always be people like your parents, but disguised in a different mask. Like your boss, for example, when they're giving you a hard time, you might remember like, this is like my mom telling me to clean my room before I can go out and play with my friends. Guys, the hack to life, I'm telling you, this is so powerful. The hack to life is to see your parents as just as any other obstacle. It's only when you can accept your parents for who they are and what they are that you can fully develop into the person you're meant to be. When I wanted to start my YouTube channel, I remember my mom literally telling me like, Amir, you're crazy. I'm laughing now, but at that time it was really painful. I remember being in a really prestigious program in university and my mom saying, you're crazy. Like, I hope a rock hits you in the head and you wake up and realize what a big mistake you're making, you know? And hearing that, I thought, wow, my mom is not supportive. She doesn't love me. Why would she say that? She's against me. I have to prove her wrong. That was the young Amir. And I guess it's a natural reaction to have at that time. But growing up now, I realized my mom only wanted the best for me and she did not understand this whole YouTube thing. She came from a completely different generation, no internet. So it's obvious that she's not going to see it as a viable career opportunity, and she's only saying that because she wants me to succeed. So even though those words can seem hateful, behind it, it's true love because she wants me to succeed, and that's what she thinks I should do, is go to school, get a good job, and make a lot of money so I can be happy. So once I realized that on the surface level, it could seem like it's coming from hate, but deep down, my parents do love me. Once I was able to realize what the true intention is, it was only then that I was able to fully accept and love my parents and grow into becoming a better version of myself. The only reason I can fully grow and think clearly, guys, is because I accept my parents for who they are and I know that they're doing the best with what they have. And so there's no resentment anymore. I see them as me and me as them. Because we literally all, this is spiritual, this is on another level, guys, but we all come from one source. So the question of, are we doomed to be like our parents, or does the apple fall far from the tree? The true answer is no, it doesn't fall far from the tree. We are essentially, and I know this sounds crazy, but we are essentially all the same people. Like, you're me and I'm you. Like, even look at eyes, mouth, tongue, like, we are all the same person. So there's nothing wrong with being like your parents. Try to see the good in them because that's going to help you see the good in other people as well. When you can see the good in your parents, even despite their shortcomings, then you'll be able to see the good in your teachers, in your relationships, in your partner, in your boss, despite there being shortcomings. That's what's going to mentally set you free in order to become the person you're destined to become. This was a little bit of a short one, but I'd really love to hear your thoughts. If you're a real person, you're watching this, please leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Keep building those miracle relationships, and I'll see you in the next one.